Now, before I go into these guys here, I just want to talk about the magic circle, C, E, A, D, G. As far as substitutions are concerned, it's pertinent. These aren't talking about that yet. Those are for up here. But magic circle again says, let's say you're in the G shape here. So this starts your G shape here. Whoa. Sorry about that. That's magnifier. I don't know how we got into that. We want a drawing tool. So we're going to start our G shape here. I just right click to turn that off. So there's G shape. If we wanted to start a G shape from, let's say, this 6 on there, all right, the magic circle says that a G shape from the second string becomes what? It becomes a C. And there it is. See, G shape going to the second string becomes a C. Now that's easy enough to remember because C is the fourth of G. So we'll just do that for a second. So here's our G root here on the G string. No matter what note that is, when you're doing a G shape, right, the G pentatonic now is way up here, so it's going to go 6 root 2 3 5 6 root 2, and then warped over 3 5 6 root. Okay, 6 root 2 3 5 6 root 2, warped over 3 5 6 root. Otherwise, root would want to go over 1 fret and up for a major third. That's warped over for us now. When you're doing your guitar tuning, right, your G string is going to go to B, the third of and then back to 6 tuning. So we're going to start a G shape from this 6. We want to play that same G shape. All right, so it's let's see, where were we? That's an A. Where were we? Give that guy an A. So he goes home. No, let's see, we got a 6 root 2 3 5 6. Now I have to warp over for the root 2. Now this is new. This wasn't part of the G shape before. This is the completion of that S2L. So what shape goes 3 5 6 root? Does that look familiar? How about this chord? Root 3 5. Root 3 5 root. That's a C-shaped chord, okay? C-shaped chord. So that substituting the G shape into the second string gave us a C box, a C-shaped box. That's what the magic circle does for you. The only peculiarity about the magic circle is that if you go one string up from a C shape, say this is our C shape, right? Now we know we have our C shape. Now we want to start that C shape, which is going to start on the 3. We want to start that on the second string. We're going to start our C shape from there on the second string. Guess what? It's not going up a 4th. Even though the second string is going up a 4th, it's only going to go to the E shape. And you can see that. You start to see here 3 5 6 root 2 3. All right, and right there you have to warp up early on that S3S 5 6 root 2. Well, what shape is that? You know it's the E shape because magic circle says so. There's your E shaped E right there, 5 E shaped root 5 root 3. Okay, and G also goes, you know, G from here. G also goes to the E. E has the root on the E string. E shape has the root on the E string. E shape has a root on the E action fingered notes that we did yesterday, right? And we have our little, our little whole step, half step thing. This is important though, like we talked about. This is a major third, but this is in P4 tuning. Okay, this is an augmented fourth, and it's important to remember this is P4 tuning. I should put it there. I just don't like writing P4 tuning. It's kind of like an outdated term, you know. Okay, so let's look at, and this down here again is just for arpeggios, because we're going to substitute some arpeggi. We can use these in substitutions too. So let's say we want this Aeolian here as a 6 root 3 6 root 3, right? And we did this before. So from that 3, if you're comfortable with 6 root 3 on the Aeolian, right? So I'm going to start that from an A, so it can be an Aeolian A minor in the key of C. So if you're comfortable with that third, you can take that into an S2L. But the question is, are you still in what key are you in? Well, this is a G-shaped A minor. The parent's going to be one pentatonic letter up from G, which is A. So this is the A root box. Here's your root. So if you do that Aeolian to that third, and then you go into a pentatonic from there, you're going to be what? You're in the A box, but are you going to be playing an A pentatonic? Let's see. We've got 3, 5, 6 root. Now remember, these are the same now. How would you know you'd have to warp it up. That is an A-shaped pentatonic. But could I have played that without having the chart there? You know, in other words, we started on that 3. We're no longer starting that A-shaped pentatonic on that 5 there. Okay, because remember, when you play an A key of caged A, the real deal A, hello A, what does that E become? The 5th. So the A-shaped pentatonic always is off the 5th. If we're starting that on the 3rd, I just know, you know that if you're starting a 3, you're starting an S2L. So that's a legal S2L there. The thing is, when you finish that S2L, how do you know that this is where you put these bricks on top of these bricks, so to speak? Okay, because it's warped over. If it wasn't warped over, what would it be? The unwarped pattern would be right here. This would be P4 tuning. This is your unwarped pattern for a minute. Let's just zoom in on that. We started our S2L here, and then we went to 2-3 over here. Now, one way you can do it so that you don't put the S3S on the wrong side is it always goes to the left while you're climbing up the pentatonic scale. The other way to look at it is if you added the 4, it would be right over the root in the pattern. But of course, with the tuning differential on the top 2 strings, it's warped over there again. So it maintains its A shape. All right. Okay, so what we were talking about was doing an arpeggio on that that Aeolian. Okay, 6 root 3. That's root. So there's G-shaped 6 root, and then from that 3 going into the major. All right, so it's kind of like going from an A minor to the major being C there, right? No, it's A-shaped C. Yeah, it's all in the key of C there. So it'd be